Hello and welcome to Rave and Review, where we rave and review any and all things pop culture or anything that interests us. I'm Bre, and you can follow me at Bre26 on Instagram and Twitter.
And I'm Kaya, and you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at kaya.r.pennington. And I'm also on Snapchat at QueenAthena44.
And you can follow Rave and Review on Instagram and Twitter at Rave_and_review. Please follow us.
Please follow us.
There too. We have content there too.
We do.
All right, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and most importantly,
share.
You know you want to share.
And click the notification bell on YouTube if you're on YouTube.
If you're feeling froggy, go ahead, jump over to YouTube and click notification bell. You know you want to know when we here.
You know you want to.
You know when the girls are here, okay? Anyways, let's get into our first segment called Unpopular Opinions, where we discuss our sometimes controversial opinions. Maybe sometimes popular. Today we're going to talk about how streaming is killing, and I mean killing, Michael Myers killing the TV and movie industry. Kaya, how do you think it's killing it?
So, I don't even watch TV anymore. Like, I do not. The only TV that I watch these days are my Law and Order stories. And I just hopped back on that train like 2 years ago. So I don't even watch TV anymore. And when I was younger, I used to have a whole lineup of shows. There was Nikita, Supernatural, The Vampire Diaries, Secret Circle, all of that good stuff that was on the CW, which is no longer producing somewhat quality content. Anyway, before that network started dying out, I used to have all these shows. But even then, as those shows slowly started coming to their ends, I was already on the streaming sites, right? Like, we got Netflix, and then we got Hulu, and it was like, at first it was like, awesome, I don't have to wait an entire summer to see that one rerun that I missed when the show was airing new episodes. Or Netflix, awesome, it's an old show that I used to watch on here that I can watch in full that I couldn't find anywhere else, right? And then we got HBO Max, we got the Roku, we got like so many things, and it's just like, for why TV? Why do I need TV? We got Disney Plus, and it's like, awesome, all my Disney stuff is right here. Disney wasn't really airing on TV. Like, I didn't have Disney Channel anyway, but like it by the time we were of age, the shows were dying out anyway. So I really hate the fact that TV is becoming, and DVD for that matter too, they're becoming like the VHS tape. Like, pretty soon it's going to be like the VHS tape. Like, who has a VHS tape, a working one these days? And I hate that, because it's just like, I don't want it to go away like that. But it's just a product of its time. But I do hate it. And also, I think it's taking a toll because, on TV, when shows aired, they used to have like standard 21 to 22 episodes per season. And then you'd wait the summer, you come back in the fall and get a new season. And now on these streaming services, it's like 8 to 10, probably 15 max episodes. And then you have to wait 2 years for the next part of the show, which in part...
I hate to cut you off, but that's a part of the formula that people are stuck on right now in the film industry. 1 hour long episodes, limited series, right? Like, it's supposed to be a limited series. Like, that's what the Stranger Things was, but it's no longer a limited series, yet you still giving us 7 episodes per season.
Right.
Like, okay, I'm sorry. That just...
And in part, that's kind of due to the pandemic. For some shows, like, the pandemic cut productions back, and so they're just like, hey, let's get with the flow of this is easier, right? But I do miss the standard 21, 22, because I don't want to watch 10 episodes. That's easily bingeable, and then wait 2 years for the next installment. I'm sorry, by that time, you will probably have lost a follower. Like, and it's like, when Netflix started, it was like $7, right? Now it's like $20. Imagine this is like, at this point, I could go to the theaters to watch a movie and it still be like cheaper. And the point of streaming was so that it was like cheaper than kind of some of the theaters, but like it's just really taking a toll, because also having these movies and stuff on streaming sites can, not always, but can take away money from the actors, and it can take away money from the theaters, and so pretty soon they're going to be out of here too. And it's just like, sometimes you got to get with the times. I know it's a product of its time, it's evolving, but like there are some things I just don't want to evolve like that. Like, I don't want TV. I miss the act of watching TV. I really do.
Me too. And then here's the thing, right? Like, it's one thing for something to evolve positively, but the streaming, like the movie and television industry, it isn't evolving in a positive way. It's evolving in a negative way, and I'm going to pull you off script because it's evolving in a bad way. Off the dome. New name for the podcast, Off the Dome. New name alert. But it's just going downhill, and the reason, this is what made me think of this, like how it's being ruined, right? Because have you heard about the new Weird Al movie with old boy Daniel Radcliffe?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be streaming on the Roku channel, girl. Who?
I ain't gonna lie, I have all like 2,000 channels of the Roku, and there's always something good on one of those channels. Like that's probably about the only TV that I would watch. Roku.
Here's my logic though, right? Like, everybody is not going to want to get a Roku just to watch a movie. Not everybody is going to want to go to these streaming sites to watch a movie. Like, if I see a really cool trailer for a television show or a movie, and I'd be like, oh, I want to watch this. I hope it's on Fingers. It's on Netflix. It's on Amazon Prime. And guess who's not downloading Amazon Prime? Mm-hmm. This girl. So, like, nobody has time for that. Like, I am all out of 7-day free trials. I'm dead serious. I'm sick of it. Like, I'm missing out on all this good stuff because I don't want to I'm not trying to jump that paywall. I'm sorry.
I guess in a way it's kind of like, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I guess in a way it's kind of like cable users versus non-cable users. Like, cable users used to get all the good stuff, and regular TV people just had the CW and CBS and NBC and all of that. And now it's just like, well, if you don't have streaming sites, so in a way, I guess it's kind of like that, huh?
But it's like that was the point of streaming, though, Kaya. It was to avoid that. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm like, I've heard good things about Paramount Plus, right? This is also make me mad, girl. Okay, so I downloaded Paramount Plus. I heard good things, and I ain't paid for it yet. I'm not gonna pay for it. Okay. Still on a 7-day free trial, but I wanted to pay for it. I wanted to give my coins for this show, this network, right? Mm-hmm. Come to find out, everything on there sucks. I don't like what they have on there. I'm going through that catalog trying to see, maybe I'll find something eventually. You know what I'm saying? Because, Kaya, I'm a reality TV kind of girl. Mm-hmm. Like, I like reality TV, so I'm looking for, I can find some housewives. And they got basketball wives and stuff like that, but that's not what I'm looking for. And then it's just like you waste money, mm-hmm. right? Like, when you spend $20 on Netflix, it feels like a waste of money, because, like, why not just cancel your subscription when you don't want to watch this stuff and then restart it? Because, like, I'm not about to sit here and wait 2 years for certain things that's the only thing I watch on there. They take too long to update their things. And
that's also why I feel like a lot of people share their accounts. Like, why would I pay $20 when I have, like...
And come to find out, my brother got a whole Paramount Plus account. If I would have known that, I would have had his information. I would have... And, like, I have memories of my childhood of watching my favorite television show, and a commercial break come on, and we race to the kitchen to grab snacks, and the commercial break and come back and be like, SpongeBob back, you know what I'm saying? Good Luck Charlie back. Like, that was us. And now we get hour-long episodes. It doesn't make me feel good. Mm-hmm. It doesn't give what television and movies should give. Like, I also have this feel like my grandpa would round up all my cousins, and we would go to the movie theater. He bought all of our big old buckets of popcorn. We put the salt up on it and the butter, and then we go sit down and pick the girl. We don't do that no more. Mm-hmm. That sucks. We don't have that experience anymore, because a lot of this stuff just goes straight to streaming channels. You know what I'm saying? And, like, a lot of the stuff that is in the theater, I don't want to spend the money on that. Mm-hmm. Gas, that's popcorn, that's candy, that's a ticket. Like, it's not worth it anymore to me. right? And so I'm just like, fingers crossed to go on HBO Max afterwards, because like, I'm not driving that way. Like, that's how it was. And it just feels like everybody, the movie industry has hit a wall, because they all are trying to copy and paste this one format of stuff, right? Like, I was in an internship where I was learning how to write scripts, and I found out this is heavily copy and paste, do what the next person is doing in order for people to look at your script. That's bad, because no one is encouraging creativity anymore. In the movie industry, in the television industry, they don't encourage creativity. They encourage money. That's what I don't like. That's why I feel like it's going downhill. It's all bad. It's all bad.
I guess we just gotta get with the. I guess we just gotta get with the times, though. It's the digital age. We are not in the analog age anymore. It's the digital age.
We wasn't born in the analog age, girl. We was born with.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But even still, we were kind of like coming out of the analog age a bit, and so it's just like we gotta give it the times.
The analog camera looks better than the digital camera, but that's just my opinion. I don't know.
Well, with that, let us move into our movie review segment. And today we are talking about the 2001 Disney's Princess Diaries. I said that backwards. Disney's 2001 Princess Diaries, which stars Anne Hathaway as Amelia Mia. Which, by the way, where do you get Mia from Amelia? But let me continue. As Mia Thempopoulos. I'm so sorry if I butchered that name. And Julie Andrews as her grandmother. Julie Andrews as her grandmother, Clarice. Mia is a very shy and awkward 15-year-old girl who is a social outcast at her school. She has one friend and a crush who is like the popular kid who, of course, ends up being the jerk. She finds out that she's a princess when her grandmother, who has had little contact with her, comes to town and drops this on her. And then we see her transformation from ugly duckling to a proper princess. So, Bre, what are your thoughts on the Princess Diaries?
Girl, I used to be infatuated with this movie. Like, this movie was my milk, bread, and tea. If that is even a thing, I don't know. But this was everything for me, Kaya. Like, this is everything. I tried to read the books. Like, I picked up this book in like the second grade and like took it to my teacher. Like, hey, teacher, I want to check this out. And this is a chapter book, by the way. This is not a book for second graders. She's like, oh, Bre, I don't know if you're gonna read that. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna read this book. Who cares? I don't care. I'm reading it. Like, that was me as a kid. I love this movie. I used to quote it word for word. I wanted to be Mia. I wanted to be Mia's friend, even though I found her friend is kind of questionable. Like,
I'll get into that with my review, but continue.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, and like after rewatching it, I still feel the same way. Only part that I really disliked are some of the things in the movie, like the makeover part. Like, why y'all making it to have bushy hair and big eyebrows like a negative thing? Aren't those ethnic traits? Am I wrong? Like, some folks just naturally born with the big eyebrows and a puffy hair because they genetic.
I'll get to that in my review.
I need to know what her daddy looks like, because clearly he must not be white. Because I'm confused. Anyways, the makeup that they gave her made her look like she was 20 years old, and I'm pretty sure in the movie she's like 15 or under.
15
and like she's 15 years old. Y'all made her like a grown woman. Y'all made her actually look like Anne Hathaway after that makeover. Okay, she didn't look like she was Mia. She looked like Anne. I didn't like that at all. And at first, like, you know, as a kid, I'm like, oh, this is cute. She looks bomb. But now I'm like, she looks a little old. And it brings back many memories. And you know, lately I've been reminiscing my childhood a lot lately. So this like is deeply appreciated, and I'm gonna watch it over and over and over again until Disney Plus finally decides this girl's a psychopath. I'm taking it off. That's how it can be for me, because it just it makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so good inside, and I like how it's like, even though it is like a Disney movie for kids, it has like a lot of character development and themes and stuff like that that like are decent. And I think that's because it was a book at first. It was a book before the movie, so I think that's why we get some character development from them, like Mia figuring out like who her friends are and trying not to follow the crowd after being famous and stuff like that, or her grandmother trying to figure out how to be a queen and also a grandmother and all that stuff. I think that's really interesting, and it even carries out to the second movie. And so it's not a bad movie. I don't think it's a bad movie. It's pretty solid to me. So I'm real biased, right, Kaya?
We're not biased here, remember?
Oh, I'm biased. I don't know who said that. I said that.
Yeah, we said that.
Oh, I'm biased. This is real biased. 9 out of 10.
Okay.
9 out of 10. The stars are only 9 out of 10.
Okay. So for me, this is a film I should have watched in my youth, because I'm sure had I watched it in my youth, I might have had similar feelings like you, but because I watched this as a logical adult, it did not hit the same. I suppose it was decent-ish, but very campy, which is on par given that the age of the audience. But I no longer look at these kinds of stories as like fairy tales, like, oh, the prince sweeps me off my feet and takes ordinary me to extraordinary me, or oh, I find out I'm a princess and my ordinary life gets a little better. Like, nah, look what they doing to Meghan Markle. Look how they did Princess Diana. That's not the fairy tale I need or want. So, and again, because I am looking at this with like non-nostalgic eyes, that's why my review is going to be so logical.
Not to cut you off, but Mia didn't want to be a princess at first, though.
I'm going to get to that. But I'm just saying that's the premise of the story. And so, but I'm going to get to that. So, the Mean Girls were a little weird to me because you find out the girl that you've been bullying is a princess, and instead of trying to be fake friends with her, y'all continue to bully her. Like, on one hand, I can be like, okay, I can appreciate that they didn't take that route, right? But on the other hand, it's like, nah, y'all would totally be fake friends with her. Like, that's just on par with your character development. You would do it. And so that was a little weird to me. Her friends somewhat got on my nerves because, like, after the makeover, the audience, clearly sees that Mia is uncomfortable with it. But would it have been so much for her friend to see it too? Like, she is just railing on her, like, you look different. What is this? What is that? Yada, yada, yada. You look like a clown. You look like she was jonesing her. And it's just like, okay, all right, chill out. Like, clearly read the room. She is clearly uncomfortable already, and you're not helping. And I can appreciate honesty in a friendship. I value that. But also filters. Like, very much filters. Which, side note, we have to get you to watch The Devil Wears Prada, because Anne Hathaway was definitely in her bag when it came to getting roles where the character's friends gaslit her character. Like, she was very much in her bag with those kind of roles. So we got to get you to watch The Devil Wears Prada. But anyway, like I said, I do appreciate honesty, but also filters. Goodness gracious. And then Lily got mad. Lily is the friend. Lily got mad because Mia didn't tell her what she wanted to know right then and there. And so it's like, I'm going to break up with you because you're not telling me what I want to know as soon as I want to tell me, so we're done. And it's just like, look, of course you want your friends to be honest with you, but it's not lying or hiding or a secret if I just don't ever bring it up. Like, you don't have to know everything about your friends. Your friends can have, and again, I get it, they're young, and it's supposed to be like campy like that, but you don't have to know everything. And also the whole, I was jealous of you because you were popular and getting attention, which they kind of played into that jealousy from the friend, but not really, because there wasn't much to show from it. But like you said, Mia didn't want that at first, and so you could very much see she didn't want that. She wasn't playing, like, you know how other Disney movies, the loner main character gets popular and they let it go to their head for a little bit and then they have to get humbled. Mia didn't do that. She didn't want the attention. She didn't follow the crowd of the school or the school's popular, and they were still jonesing on her. They were still clowning her, so nothing changed.
They clowned her when she took that hat off and she had straight hair. I was like, hold on now, she looks good now. Y'all asking me to a wig? That's so wrong.
Like, they still clowned her. And there is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be liked. I think that's one of my core issues from movies like these. And of course, it's all about how one goes about it. Like, if you let that stuff go to your head and you need to be humbled, okay. But just wanting to be liked, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be liked. But we don't see Mia fall into that category because she still doesn't care. Now, about the hair, because I did forget this when I was talking about the makeup. Oh, rather the ugly duckling trope. I don't think it was needed. But also, the frizzy hair was not giving ethnicity or ethnic to me. It was giving, I don't take care of my hair. That's the kind of frizzy it was giving.
I'm not saying it was giving ethnic, but what I was trying to say was, like, saying that frizzy hair or like bushy hair is like a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, saying that it made her look ugly is kind of like, isn't that kind of weird? You know what I'm saying? To me, that was kind of weird. And then she's pretty when her hair is straightened. Like, maybe her hair is just naturally a little.
I get it. I get what you're saying, but also for me, it was very much given. I could at least take a brush or a comb to this, and it still be.
But she was also like 15 years old, and clearly her mama did not have the funds to like.
To own a brush or a comb?
Well, I don't know about no brush or comb now. I can't do with a brush or comb. But clearly, like, she was supposed to be, you know, her eyebrows bushy. She ain't gonna have the money to get her eyebrows threaded when she live in an old firehouse.
I'm not talking about her eyebrows. I am strictly talking about the bushy hair. It was giving for me, too much of it was giving, I don't take care of my hair, because that's supposed to fall into the, I'm awkward and don't know how to be in social settings. I think that's what it was for me. That's how it played into her character arc. That's where that fell. And it's like, you can have the frizzy hair, but I'm sorry, that was too much. I needed to comb. Anyway.
She did look better with the straight hair, but I just thought it was weird. Like, saying that she looked bad with hair. It wasn't a cute look for her, but, you know, I just thought that because putting in the whole, I cannot articulate how I feel, but like putting the whole bushy hair thing into the ugly duckling trope has always been like a thing that I never liked. You know what I'm saying? Or like, because some people have that stuff naturally. Like, you see my hair, like, some people have frizzy or curly hair naturally, and I don't think it makes someone ugly. You know what I'm saying? So I think adding certain things to ugly duckling trope is weird. But like you said, for her, it may have this thing unkept her because, you know, her hair stayed fairly straight after that.
Didn't have to comb it or brush it or wash it or anything. And the fact that she broke his brush, which I know is supposed to play into that, your hair is so wild, which is what you're talking about. I get that, but also, I don't know. It just, to me, it seemed like.
I see what you mean, but I still feel how I feel. It's just like, I'm about it. Anyways.
So the grandmother, that also went through that trope of the grandmother being like, oh, you know, I'm hardened and all of this, and now I learn how to soften up. So I suppose that's decent. It's not a coming of age, I wouldn't say, but it somewhat is, and I suppose I would recommend it to this day as a coming of age. But given that I didn't watch it in my coming of age, it felt weird, and I could do nothing but sit there and logically think about how this is just not a good film. And even the second one was not. I did go ahead and watch the second one. I did, and I wasn't impressed with that either. But
okay, the second one's not as good though, because she's like trying to find her husband. Anyway, let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's another day. So my rating is like a 6 out of 5, and that's being very generous.
Yeah, because I see your note, Kaya. You can't sit here and try to take it. Tell me.
That's being very generous, but
she being real nice, I'll tell you. Okay. Anyways, let's move into our childhood review. Is it still good segment? And today, wait, what? So, childhood review is it still good segment? And today we're talking about the 1999 to 2004 is the podcast. Okay, anyway, Parker stars Monique and Nikki Parker and Countess. Nikki Parker ex. Hold on. The Parker stars Monique as Nikki Parker and Countess Vaughn as Kim Parker. Nikki's daughter, Kim and Nikki, attend the same community college along with Kim's friends Stevie and T. The show revolves around Kim and mainly Nikki navigating the college life, which I think is really cool. Mm-hmm. There's also Professor Stanley Ogilvy. Nikki's love obsession. Kaya, what do you think about this?
So, this was one of the shows, those black sitcoms that I grew up with and loved. It was right up there with, like, I call it the reruns of Fresh Prince, but there was also the Bernie Mac show, My Wife and Kids, and all of that. Mm-hmm. And this was one of those shows, and I used to love it as a kid. I would just sit up there and watch it. Now Netflix put it along with a few other black sitcoms on its streaming site some while ago, and so I watched it for the first time, like in its fullness as an adult. And here are my thoughts on the characters. So Professor Ogilvy was not the catch. Oh my God, that man was not the catch. I have no idea why they were sitting here trying to act like he was just the most greatest man to walk the earth. Like, he was not the catch. He was verbally abusive to Nikki and only wanted her when she was happy with someone else. And when she finally gave him that attention, when she finally returned her attentions to him, he was like, oh, no, actually, you can go back to them. Take her back. I don't want her. What are you doing in the first place then? Why are you messing with her in the first place then? It was so aggravating. He was not the catch. And it honestly surprised me that looking back, he had so many women, so many dates, or even a steady girlfriend, because his personality was very lacking. He was just not the catch.
He didn't keep him.
Huh?
Why he didn't keep him?
See, because he was not the catch. Kim. She is the goofy character whose personality is dumbed down each season, and as I've repeatedly said, I cannot stand it when TV shows and movies do this. I do not care for it. She didn't even get to graduate college despite her aspirations to be like a fashion designer, which I do think we still end up seeing her at the end going that route. But even still, it's like we could have seen her graduate, or like, even if it's a community college costs money, and it's just like, I don't sit here and play these kind of games in college. Like, her character was dumbed down each season, and it was just not funny. I was so over it and so aggravated by it as the show went on. Stevie and T, who were Kim's friends, I don't remember what their aspirations were or what they were majoring in community college for. I do remember Stevie having a rich mom who ended up being broke. A crazy rich mom who lost all her money, ended up being broke. And I remember T being the crush Kim had at the beginning of the show. Maybe an unpopular opinion, but I think I kind of like Stevie and T for those 2 episodes that they were together. I don't know. It's all a blur. But like, for those 2 episodes, I think they might have been cute. But looking back on that, T might have only wanted Stevie because she was with somebody else, because that came straight out the blue. That was so random. But I was like, okay. Now, Andale, who was, I forgot to mention Andale, but she was Nikki's friend. And I think she was a really funny character. And I think I liked her better than their neighbor in season 1, just because she kind of had more to do than the neighbor did, if you remember the neighbor from season 1.
I don't, but I do with Bre and Kia.
I think her name was Denise or something. I don't know. And finally, Kim. I'm sorry, not Kim, Nicki. So, Nicki was a little unorthodox in her pursuit of the professor. I have no idea what she saw in him, and she deserved so much better. So much better. That being said, she needed a reality check just as much as he did, because why are you stalking him and doing all this illegal stuff to be with a man that don't want you, which is actually like a harmful stereotype, right? And it's just like, it didn't need to happen. And no way, and absolutely no way, should they have gotten married at the end of that series. Not at all.
I never made it to the last episode. Like, I knew they got married, but like I never made it to the episode.
She was set to marry somebody else. He showed up at the wedding and was like, "I love you, Nicki." Since when? I've always loved you. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. So, childhood review. Is it still good? Looking at it as an adult, there are a lot of issues with this show. But, and then it was kind of inconsistent, but that's on par with a lot of sitcoms anyway. It's decent. It's decent. It's something that I would watch on a weekend or just randomly on a weekday when I'm looking for something to eat, when I'm looking for something to watch as I eat. And so it's decent. I give it like a 6.5 to 7 out of 10. That's fair.
Well, I remember being obsessed with Monique in particular. So anything that she was in as a kid, I was down to watch, mostly because I was just obsessed with seeing like plus size black women in television. And I know people always seem to be under the impression that kids don't care about stuff like that, but I did. I love seeing Monique. And so like I was glued, and I loved Countess Vaughn. She was great to see. And so like I was glued. It was the music that got me, the fashion hooked me, and then the storyline got me. Okay, and so like, and as a kid, I really wanted to see Nicki and Ogilvy together, but like now as an adult, I'm just like, this kind of toxic. Like it was very, very toxic.
Very toxic.
And like some would say, oh well, she was constantly after Mr. Ogilvy. And of course, Ogilvy was gonna be mean. Like, you can't nicely like let somebody down. I don't think he ever did that. He was just mean to her, and a lot of it appeared to be like them. And then like it created this weird trope, like, you know, Monique as a plus size black woman had to beg somebody to be with her, and that he was being mean to her because she was plus size. Like, that's what it gave, and I just like.
Also, if we're being honest, he did lead her on, because again, when she was happy with other people, now you want her attention.
Exactly. I hated how she was written. And same for Kim. Okay, actually, I recall at some point in the season, there may have just been some weird spoof episode where she was smart. Am I tripping?
There was an episode where her IQ was supposed to be really high, but then you found out that it was somebody else's, I think.
That was it. Okay, I thought that they gave her some character development, but apparently they did not. Okay, no. So she was just stupid the entire time and was smart for like a day. But I feel like Kim being smarter, just a little bit, or at least growing more mature throughout time, would have been a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that would have made her character like more well-rounded. And I know you said you kind of like T
and Stevie. It's like a weird. I don't know what exactly, because it did come out of nowhere, but it's, I don't know.
As a kid, I think even as a kid I didn't like the relationship. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I was just like, I'm not feeling this. I didn't like it, and I don't know why. I think I didn't like Stevie. I don't know what. I just didn't like Stevie for some reason. And I guess because even like back then, I don't know why. Was I an intuitive child? Like, I just didn't like certain things in the show. because I didn't know why I didn't like it, but I just didn't like it. But like as a kid, I guess I didn't like the whole white best friend thing. Like I didn't like how they just sprinkled in a random white person to the show, and it was just like it didn't make sense to me. I didn't like it. I didn't like it because usually like when someone has an entire like friend group of black people, like it's gonna be real hard for one person to break in. I'm sorry, it's just not easy for someone to make that kind of intrusion.
But if you think about it, it's not like a whole group, it's one other person.
Yeah, but like it's the family and stuff like that. Like even the school thing, I don't know. It's just, I just didn't like it. I didn't like it as a kid, and as an adult, I haven't watched it in a long time. But like I can't say how I would feel about it now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm being honest. I can't say how I would feel about it now. But back then, I ain't like it. And I used to constantly watch this show with my mom, and so I just. Me and my mom both loved the show. I would watch it even when she was tired of watching it. I would watch every single episode over and over and over and over again. I was obsessed with it. So if I had to rate it, I would give it an 8 out of 10. A solid 8 out of 10 because I think its rewatch value is high. It's funny, you know, it has somewhat of a storyline. It is inconsistent, but you know,
that's on par with sitcoms.
Very good sitcom.
Well, with that, let's move into our last segment of the day. It's time for What's in the Headlines, where we rave and review celebrity news and gossip. And today, we're talking about the White House's official Twitter clapping back at some Republicans who have a problem with the recent student loan forgiveness, debt forgiveness bill. I think it's a bill. I don't know. Sydney Sweeney seemingly in hot water for sharing photos that revealed her family's conservative side. And we're also talking about the recent 2022 Vma Awards. So, Bre, let's start with the White House. How are you feeling about the White House clapping back at some Republicans for their stances on the loan forgiveness? I will say here, because I forgot to mention it, the way they clapped back was acknowledging that some Republicans have like millions or thousands or millions in PPP loan forgiveness, and yet they want to complain about student loan debt forgiveness. So, Bre, what are your thoughts?
I be on Twitter a lot. Okay, so I'm very familiar with this format. Okay, and so you can imagine my surprise when I saw the official White House doing it. Kaya, I was gagged. I was like, hold on. Now, this is not a fake page. I see the check mark. I'm not tripping. That is not a dot. That is a check mark. And so I'm just like, I thought that it was sane and also kind of smart. And the reason why I think it was kind of smart was because they found a way to reach an audience on Twitter that the White House otherwise would have not engaged in a million years. Unless they did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, this is smart. Like, this is smart. And for some reason, people seem to be under the impression that, like, Joe Biden has, like, two Twitter accounts and he, like, hopped over from his Joe Biden account onto the White House account, just dragging politicians on Twitter. Like, y'all, I don't know how to tell y'all, but this man actually has a job. He's not going to be on Twitter all day. Like, not going to say, he probably lives on.
I think they got used to a certain president being on Twitter all day during the presidency.
He probably doesn't run his own Twitter, y'all. Like, I don't know what to tell you people, but this is an intern. This is an intern work. This is a social media marketing intern. And you know what? They did the thing. They did the right thing. I think it was funny. It was smart. And you know what? It's kind of hard to say bad things about something that works. And, like, no harm done, you know, kind of exposed to politicians, rightfully so, because you can't, you know, I can't think of the words right now, but act what you preach. Is that the word? Is that the saying?
It lost my mind too. Practice what you preach.
Practice what you preach. Hiya. I don't have to tell y'all, but this is our second week of school, and I don't know if we're proud or not, but we are completely proud. Anyways, Kaya,
take some
what
time.
do you think about it?
Look, I'm here for it. I am all here for it. Like, first off, they act like they've never had a tax forgiveness, or because again, these aren't the people that are saying eat the rich. These are the people who need to be eaten, right? So like, I'm so here for them being like, oh, this you with the such and such amount in PPP loan forgiveness. Oh, okay. Oh, and is this you?
Had the receipts.
Is this
they had
you?
the receipts.
Like, is this you with the such and such in PPP loan forgiveness? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Like, yes, I am all here for it. And to those that say it's ghetto for the White House to be clapping back, or to those that are saying, well, the White House could be doing other stuff that's productive rather than clapping back. One, what happened to, we were tired of going high when they go low. What happened to when they go low, we're going to go to hell? Like, what happened to that? What happened to that mentality? Keep that same energy. And two, right, and two, like you said, of course, it's not Biden hopping on the official Twitter to do this. There is a paid person who is their job to run the accounts, and they did what was well within their rights of their job on Twitter. Like, that's their job. So they in the right, and I am here for it. I love it. Congrats. It's enjoyable.
Well, speaking of running accounts, Sydney Sweeney is currently receiving a major backlash after posting a picture with her family on social media. People were instantly surprised to see that one of her family members was wearing a Blue Lives Matter shirt. After the initial backlash, Sydney decided to address it by basically saying, it's just a picture, y'all. And so the Euphoria actress went on to receive even more backlash for doubling down. What do you think?
So here's my thing, and this is somewhat of a direct response to your response. Your somewhat. So I don't think anyone is confused, because then you're like, am I the only one who's like not confused that she has conservative? I don't think anyone is confused or upset that she has conservatives in her family. I think it's that she is doubling down. Like, related back to the black community and some people in the black community protecting predators. Well, that's my brother. Well, that's my sister. So I'm a stand by them. Well, your brother or your sister is sitting here touching their nieces and nephews. Protect your children. At some point, the blood ain't that thick. So I think it's people, what's the word I'm looking for? Not concerned, upset, I guess. Upset that she is doubling down. And she's like, oh, y'all are taking an innocent photo and turning it into something political. And it's just like, well, they're wearing a Blue Lives Matter shirt, which is a direct dog whistle to Black Lives Matter, to BLM, right? That's why that whole thing was created. And then you got two other people wearing parody MAGA hats. They say make 60 great again. And it's just like, I don't know about you, but there's only like a few people, and I'd have to really know you or like your views to laugh at that. Otherwise, I'm not gonna trust some people wearing even parody hats of that, because like, what's so funny? What you kikiing about? What's so funny? I don't.
Right.
That's just me. Like, I don't. And like I said, at some point the blood is just, it's not that thick. And get a PR. Get a PR. And we do need to stop expecting so much from celebrities, because hey, she's human. She can have human faults or whatnot, and you can't choose your family, right? Like, it is her family. But your family may be voting for people who are actively or already have taken away your rights as a human and as a woman. And at this point, there is no, well, I don't agree with them, but they're family and it is what it is. Either you tolerate it or you don't. It's not her party, so she couldn't like say who is and isn't invited. And do I think this is something to be canceled over? No. Do I think this is like people are trying to cancel her? No. But like, at some point, the blood ain't that thick. Blood is not that thick, and there is no, I don't agree, but it is what it is. Either you tolerate it or you don't. That is what I think people are upset about. So how do you feel?
Well, I'm confused. The reason why I'm confused why other people are upset or like even confused or weird or think it's that she's doubling down is because as somebody who grew up in the South around a lot of racist white people, well, not white people well, non-racist white people who had a racist family members, you have to know that, like, somewhere there's going to be that one in there. Or more than one. Maybe it's the grandpa, maybe it's the uncle, but you have to know that. And so that's why I thought that was common knowledge. And so I saw the picture before it went viral for being bad. I was like, girl, I didn't think twice because, like, it's just like, what? I didn't even look at the shirt. I didn't care. I didn't even like the picture. I didn't care. And to be clear, y'all, I never watched Euphoria a day in my life. I watched one episode. I am not a fan of Skinny Sweetie. I'm just confused as to why, like, and I understand what you said, Kaya, like, blood ain't that thick. But like I said, you can't expect celebrities to have the same mindset as you, or they're not gonna always do what you think is right. Because that's her family. Why do we so expect so much from her? Like, that's her family.
I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to interrupt you. I just want to say this because I forgot to add it. Sorry, there is something tweaking in my eye. But I really do think that a lot more white people are progressive these days. Like, I'll talk to you about that with the people in my Afrofuturism class. I think a lot more white people are progressive these days. And so, again, I'm not saying that we should hold celebrities to, like, really high values. She's human with human faults and stuff. But it's also like, I don't know, you play this character, so it would stand to reason that you would kind of distance yourself from people who would send you, get thee to a nunnery and cover you up because you out here blasting your boobies everywhere. Like, it's not so far-fetched that people would be like, but I didn't mean to interrupt you. Continue.
We lived in two very different cities. I don't know the white people you be talking to, but the white people we live in two different cities. So the ones that I'm speaking to are a lot less progressive. This one guy has argued with me how an assault rifle should just be called a rifle because apparently chairs you can assault someone with a chair, but you don't call it. These are the kind of people I talk to, okay? These are the ones I'm speaking to.
Broaden your expanses. Just broaden.
I expect this. Okay, this is what I expect. I don't expect more. I don't expect less. And even when they give me more, I still expect less. I've met progressive white people who have still reverted to calling me the... Okay? So, like, even if they claim me progressive, please don't expect more than that because they can't. Anyways, I'm just trying to figure out why people are so shocked or surprised that she's doubling down. Like, this is just what I expect. This is just what I expect because I just don't get it. I don't get the confusion or because it's another girl to me. Like, yeah, she's an actress, she's famous, she's pretty, but like, she's just another girl who loves her family despite them being horrible people. People do that. Some folks don't have the will, the rhyme, nor reason to cut a family member off because they're a bad person. A lot of people just don't have it in them to do that. Can't expect everybody to do that. Yet I don't expect that from Sydney and a lot of other celebrities. You'd be surprised. Not really, but I don't expect anything from these folks no more. They do what they want to do.
With that, let's get into our last topic of the day, which is the recently aired 2022 Vma Awards. Just to name a few big winners and moments, Taylor Swift won Video of the Year for All Too Well, the 10-minute Taylor version from Republic Records. Artist of the Year went to Bad Bunny, Rhymes Entertainment. Billie Eilish won Song of the Year for Happier Than Ever, Dark Room, Interscope Records. Lil Nas X and Jack Harlow won Best Collab for Industry Baby, Columbia Records. Lizzo won Video for Good for About Damn Time, Atlantic Records, and also clapped back at some of her haters. Nicki Minaj received the 2022 VMA Video Vanguard Award, and there were many other winners and moments. So, Bre, what are your thoughts on some of the winners, losers, and moments of the 2022 VMA Awards?
Well, congrats to everybody that won. Most of y'all deserved it. I don't know what I did with my computer, but congrats to everybody that won. Most of y'all deserve your awards. I love the VMA Awards. I've always loved it because, to be honest, like, I'll be sad for the VMA Awards more than the BET Awards, personally. Even though Nicki Minaj is, like, ethically questionable, I do think she deserves a Vanguard Award because, you know, she did carry the female rap game on her back for like a decade or two. Just a decade. She carried it on her back for a decade, and I do think that the reward was well deserved because she has made iconic music videos. Like, let's not sit here and act like Anaconda had made all of our hearts drop. Like, the world stopped when Anaconda was dropped in middle school. I remember that. I also think she definitely deserved it because her peers, Beyonce and Rihanna, both have one. I don't know why it took her so long to get one. That's confusing for me. I'm also Lizzo one because of About Damn Time, because it's a good song, and to me, it was the song of the summer. I personally feel like I don't deserve that song of the summer because First Class wasn't that good. That's just my opinion. Nobody was dancing to that, except unless you was on TikTok, but nobody was dancing to First Class. I don't know about y'all, but that's just my opinion. She also had a really good performance. You always expect Lizzo to deliver good vocals and creative choreography. It was so cute. I love it. Oh man, I love that woman. I swear to God. That's my auntie, y'all. Anyways, I think Nicki Minaj's performance was also really good. When she performed Moment for Life, I was literally transported back to like, oh, girl, I don't even know, when I was 7 years old. Woo! That was my song. And like, no matter what I do, no matter what she do, Nicki Minaj will forever be connected to my childhood memories, and I really hate that. Anyways, Kaya, what do you think?
Well, congrats to all the winners. It's always nice to be appreciated for one's art. Nicki Minaj has done a lot of groundbreaking things in her career, so it's no surprise that she's still getting honored to this day, and that's all I'm going to say on that. I want to use my review to my response to praise Lizzo. She does nothing but make good music and embraces her body and lives her life. Why? Why does that have people so pressed to see a plus size woman just enjoying life and making good music? Like, she gets way more hate than any skinny and or white celebrity would ever get. And
everybody be doing.
Especially from the black community, and especially from people in the black community who, quite frankly, have no room to talk, because ain't no way you could get up there as a plus size person, the person that I'm talking about, play a flute, sing a song, and do a dance simultaneously. Show me. If you can't do that, then okay, be quiet. I like that she clapped back and was basically like, she was like, I'm still winning, and the only way y'all getting relevant is by keeping my name in y'all mouth. And that's not verbatim. She didn't say that verbatim, but like, still. The message still stands, and I think she was classy with it, and I think she really could have went in harder on her haters, but she chose the high road, and I can always appreciate that. And so, congrats to Lizzo on your win. Keep winning. Don't let the haters get you down. It's about damn time.
That song picked me up on your work day, girl. Thank you. Anyways, that's what's in the headline, and that is our show. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you like our content, and if you do like it, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, comment, and most importantly,
share.
You got to share, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
See ya.